Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a kid growing up, playing outdoors with my brothers and our neighbors, whenever Mrs. Bedia walked by, we'd always yell to her, "Mrs. Bedia, where are you going?" Invariably, she'd respond with, "I'm going crazy, and you kids are driving me there." Now, we would just look at one another with these puzzled expressions because we had no idea what she was saying. Her sense of humor just went right over our little buzz cut heads. But now, fast forward another 35 or so years. I've just finished my first on-street driving experience with my older daughter. And she says, "Dad, you want me to put the car in the garage?" No, that's okay. I'll do it. We'll save that for another time." So we swapped places. I put the car in the garage. And as soon as I stopped the engine, all of a sudden, I just start laughing. I mean, I was laughing hard because I finally heard with clarity Mrs. Bedia's comments about their kids driving her crazy. I finally got the joke. And that's really been my experience teaching my two girls how to drive. Of course, I've probably developed a greater and more devout prayer life. I certainly invoke the Lord's name a lot more, that's for sure. Now, both my girls were a little bit cocky when it came to that first trip out on the road. So, being the generous dad that I am, I thought, oh, I can handle this. I know they want to just take it out on the interstate and see what the car can do. And I said, I'm an experienced driver. I can coach them through this. Oh, let me tell you, just driving down the driveway was frightening. First of all, our driveway is downhill. It's curvy. On one side is a 4-foot wall, and on the other side are 3 large trees. So I'll tell you, I wasn't halfway down that driveway when I knew there was no way we're getting anywhere close to that interstate. And there's such a sense of powerlessness. I mean, you're sitting there in the co-pilot seat. You can't steer. You can't make it go faster. And you certainly can't make it go any slower. All you can do is talk loudly, talk often, and try and keep your foot from going through that non-existent pedal on your side of the floorboard. It's quite an experience. And you know, after taking them around, being their chauffeur for so many years, to their friend's house, to their different activities, you'd think they'd have some notion of how to get around. No. No better than newborn babes on how to get anywhere. Okay, Maria, let's drive up to the flag stop, and once we get up there, we'll figure out where we need to go next. She said, okay, how do I get there, Dad? I said, Maria, we're in a cul-de-sac. There's only one way to go. Now, driving on the interstate, I said, that's a safe thing to do, fairly easy. And actually, the first few times were deceptively so. So we got out to the interstate. We pulled on very nicely. I deliberately picked a Sunday morning with next to no traffic. We drove down, got in the slow lane. We stayed slow. Next exit, we got off. We stopped. I said, oh, okay. Would you turn the heater off for a few minutes? And she looked at me and said, Dad, it's June. I've got the AC on. I said, oh boy. So we got back on. We did a couple more laps around. I said, okay, now it's time that we pass the car. So we get back on the interstate. And I said, okay, Jen, tell me what you're going to do when we pass this car that you see up here. So she ran me through the proper routines. I said, okay. So as we got closer to the car, I said, hey, it's time that we think about passing this car. So she's driving, and I can see her doing what she needs to do. I see her check that rear view mirror. I'd already visually checked. I see her check that left side mirror. It's clear. She puts the blinker on, and now she goes to make that quick over-the-shoulder look, and boom, right into the next lane. Get it! Fortunately, there was no car behind us, so we were okay. Now, another hazardous area, one I really had a lot of trepidation about, was getting up to intersections. Now, quiet intersection in the neighborhood, not too big a deal. About the only problem we had with those was she'd kind of try and make excuses for when they made mistakes. For instance, You did see that stop sign back there at the intersection, right? Yeah, I saw it. That's why I stopped. So, okay, well, next time, let's try and stop before we pass the sign, okay? So we get to the busy intersection, and I expect her to go through the normal routine, and she does. She looks to the left. I look with her. It's clear. She looks to the right. I look with her. It's clear. Another quick look to the left. I look with her. It's still clear. I say, okay, let's go. And we just stay there. I say, come on, let's go. We just stay there. And I look. I said, well, how come you didn't go? He said, well, there's a car coming. I said, where? He said, right down there. I looked. I said, you mean that red one that probably won't get here till next week? I said, oh, okay, never mind. I said, you're driving. That's right. You can only go. And then, boom, across the intersection we went. And by this time, cars are starting to gather. I said, what are you doing? And tears started to come down her eyes. She said, oh, I thought you said I could go. I just went, oh, you're driving me crazy.